All right, guys, welcome back to the Art of Whiskey, man. And as I said, this is like a get to know me as I put this page together. I feel like social media influencers, which I'm not, but kind of am, they jump into this thing, and then over time you get to know them. What better way to get to know me than to just share with you kind of like how I got into whiskey and what's going on? So, as you heard in one of the last episodes, I walk into the blendery. Tim gives us an opportunity to drink some whiskey, buy some whiskey, try some whiskey, and then we schedule a blending day where I bring in some people who are part of my journey at that time. And during that time, slurping's not good. During that time, I was thinking about kind of how to pivot and how to continue to connect to the audience that I have in the dog world. So, long story short, in this particular part, this is kind of where I went wrong. In my mind, I used to associate having a following with consumers, and that is not true. If you learn anything about social media, because you have a lot of followers does not mean you have a lot of supporters. And in my mind, I have all these followers, right? Literally, on one platform alone, 1,000,000 and some change. And I'm talking like a mil five. So 1,500,000, 900 plus thousand at the time on, or 800 something thousand on YouTube. And then I think maybe 300, probably 280, 300,000 on, what was it? Instagram. And just stupid stuff I put in my story. Hell, I put Love, which is one of my pups, and a dog we have named Maya in my story the other day. And 17,000 people saw it. Like that's what got people watching. Doesn't mean they're going to support. So I walk in, I say, Tim, let's do such and such. I want to sell a bottle for 200, 250. It's like, all right. Man, we sold 2 bottles. 7,000 people watching my story at that time. I ain't sold but 2 bottles of whiskey. He's like, well, how many would I say? Well, let's do 50 of them. And man, imagine you do 50 bottles and sell 2 out of 50. That ain't enough. And Tim's business model is structured around making sure stuff sells. When you put something up, it needs to sell. You do not want things on the shelf when everything he's doing is a customized experience. So this is one of the moments that impacted me the most with Tim. Go in the office. I've now sold him my services. I say, hey, listen, man, you need help social media wise and I can help. Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo-doo. The price, he says, well, there's 2 things that could take place. Because he goes, you can go and sell all that whiskey that I've now bottled. It's a true story. Or I can give you the check and I'll sell it here. And so I remember sitting at the edge of his desk. And this is him and I don't know each other. And I'm telling you this, if you're a man, if you're a human being, admit when you're fucking wrong. I said, dude, I fucked up. I said, I thought because of such and such that, because I had a following that this was going to sell whiskey. I said, it don't work that way. And I'll be the first to tell you that I was wrong. And he says, all right. He gives me the check. That starts our journey. But I was wrong, guys. I don't have, and let me be very clear, because at one time when we were doing Puppy Blocks Heavy, we almost did have 100 people subscribed to Puppy Blocks. We've had over 50 people, and this is a $50 product, okay? Like this is a $50 product on one supplement. So and then when I did the Pet Achievers inside of Kajabi, there were 109 members paying $9.99 a month to be a part of that. So I'm saying that. But then I had to go back as I continue to learn about social media, mapping my customer journey and making sure that I'm creating a consumer, not just a viewer. But I'm not a guy who promotes a lot of products and stuff either, so that's a whole different thing. But I let Tim know. I said, man, what I've seen in the short term here at the Whiskey Blendery is community, family, friends, and shared things. I don't share. I don't have a community. I don't have any friends. I'm cooked. So me thinking I was going to sell 100 bottles, 50 bottles at 250 is asinine. This is literally just fucking stupid. So I was like, I'm sorry. I blew it. I fucked up. He says, all right, that was that. Let me be very clear. Tim didn't think no less of me. I don't know that he thought any more of me. What I would tell you is we continue to be a part of his journey, and he continued to pay me my price for helping him with social media. He then relinquished the power of social media to me and gave me access to his platform. So I do a lot of the posting for social media. For the Blendery, I stay out of the messages. I don't reply to them, and I don't reply to comments. But I do make sure that posts go up. You could get something completely wrong and die on your own sword. Now I could have took those bottles and passed them out to a bunch of folks, but I'm like this. I don't know whiskey, buddy. I don't. I know social media. I know marketing. I know how to communicate. I know how to think like a consumer. I know that, and I'll help you. Now I've proven to be of value and right, but that moment, in my opinion, was also another, I don't want to say make or break, but another moment of just being enlightened. Learn, hey, I screwed this up, buddy. Hence the general. So now I've got more bottles of whiskey than I can sell because only 2 sold. We made sure those people got their bottles. They weren't even close. Man, I tell you, it's a shit show. So I have to thank Tim for showing me grace, allowing me room for error, and even more importantly, giving me opportunity to grow with him and just myself. But it started, like I'm telling you right now, my journey over the past year, mind you, I've only been in whiskey for like a year and some change. My journey, as I continue to introduce you, just walk you through why people are showing up, what's going on here, is going to be not rooted in just good whiskey, but just like, yo, grow up, be a better person, learn from the people, get around some good leadership, have some good drinks, definitely make some good food, and pace yourself in this thing called life, man. Tim gave me the opportunity to grow and learn and sit front row, as I say, as the journey unfolds. And I think another super impactful day as I get into the next episode with the Blendery was I walked in, and I'm only telling you guys this because he didn't whisper about it. It wasn't a private room conversation. It was I walk in, he's got a flannel on. I said, man, I got one of them same ones. So let me see that. Took his, put it on. I'm like giving him shit. We're about to start shooting at some point. Jimmy D's there, Jamarcus is there, and Tim was, he's like, we met with our estate people today, and I'm like, yeah, what's that? I have no clue. I'm like, what is that? I've never even heard of this, right? You see it in movies, but it don't register, right? I'm like, what's that? Because I'm being funny. And he goes, it's the people who basically handle your life after death. I saw, damn, you sick? Something like that. I was, something wrong with you? No. You just got to make sure that this stuff is done before you die, clearly, right? Because then it gets into the state's hand, a bunch of bullshit. Long story short, Jimmy G, Jamarcus, myself, were there. And Tim said, the state person asked me a question, and it was very simple. Hey, if you, your brother, your wife, your daughter, your family, everybody in your family died, who would you leave this Blendery thing to? And he said, to think that at this time, maybe 6-7 months I'd been there, your name came up and I haven't even known you for 10 years. He goes, I was like, I would potentially have to leave this to Trevor. And now mind you guys, that's a heavy load, man. And I think even to this day, while I'm saying it out loud, it's like, oh, I didn't sign up for that. I just came here to help you sell whiskey, man. But at the time, I still was fucked up when it comes to friendships and family, and I'm not real close to many people. So when he's saying this, for a fact, I would have done right and would do right if something happened and it was left in my possession to make sure that the Whiskey Blendery thrived, succeeded, and even more importantly, we took care of the people. But it just goes to show you all the places I went before meeting Tim, all the whiskey I've ever had amounts to nothing compared to that moment, the moments spent inside of that Blendery. And it ain't because of the whiskey. Like, I think part of this whole thing you're going to keep hearing is like, it had nothing to do with the whiskey. It was the people. So, we drink a good amount of whiskey. We have a good time. We tell quite a few stories. I said in a funny post last night, my buddy Eric was here last night. He got here at about 4:45 and left it after 11. And I always think to myself, well, we shot for the first 2 hours. My house fills up on a Monday normally. And I'm like, why is Eric still here? He's here because he enjoys camaraderie, friendship. He enjoys what's taking place. He likes people. Some of the people who live the longest in the world have a social life. And part of the social life is community and care. People that show up, people they go out and do things with, hike and all. You go, man, how did people live so long? Well, they've been walking together for 30 years. They've been partying together for 30 years. They've been doing things together for 30 years. Keeps them going. I'm like this, man, that Blendery, I tell you, man, it opened up a whole new idea of what it means to live, create and invent. And part of the invention is for me, it's like the invention of friendship and food and family and a house full of people. I think to myself now, what would I do without these people? I guess I go back to what I'm doing, but I don't think that would be good for me if I'm being honest. And it's because of places like the Whiskey Blendery, which for me, I always want to be a person who impacted others and changed people's lives. That place does it every day. And because of how great I see Tim becoming and how good he is to people, I just don't know how it fails, And I saw stuff like I had that itch. I get a little tingle per se. I'm like, oh, this person's special and they don't know it. Really? Why do you say that? I said, don't worry, I'll show you. If they show up and do their part. They do their part, man. I tell you, it's over. But at anywho, I walked you through where I fucked up. Gives you perspective on who I am. Gives you perspective on how valuable Tim is. Gives you perspective on the grace he provides. I've even heard someone literally, Tim Souls, he gives me kind of a hard time about how direct I am. But a group came in last week and they said, so are we responsible for this or such and such, or how much do we have to pay? He said, just don't fuck me. We said, don't fuck me over. And that's literally how he said. They kind of laughed, but he's being dead serious. He's like me. He's like, y'all laughing, but I'm being dead serious. But it's a straight arrow. I'll make sure you're good. Don't fuck me over on this, and we'll do some good business together. That's that. Handshake go a long way when you do right by people and just good businessmen. And the Blendery is a place that does good business, and I've learned a ton. So keep it whiskey. I got some more to tell you, some more to share, some more to show. And we all got more to know. So stay tuned.